From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, we continue to hear from Delawareans who receive false toll violations from DelDOT, who continues to ignore our questions and refuses to provide any specifics as to what is causing this issue to begin with. A bill to provide residents with a $300 rebate to combat rising inflation costs here in Delaware. These stories and more coming up, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Good Monday afternoon, Delmarva. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend, even though we had some fairly cool conditions for the most part. Temperatures were below average. We had a lot of cloud cover and some sprinkles of rain here and there, but today, much different story. We've had a lot more sunshine. We had a little bit of some warmer temperatures, especially in our inland locations, but still right along the coast. A little bit chilly out there. Taking a live look outside of North Ocean City, Maryland, we have the blue skies. We have some clouds that are beginning to move in, a little bit of some high thin cirrus clouds, and some not so bad temperatures either. Currently 51 degrees in North Ocean City. Take a look at some satellite and radar. It has been fairly cloudless for the most part for most of today, but we are starting to see a stream of clouds moving in from the west. And unfortunately, clouds will be on the increase tonight and maybe even a little bit of some rain chances towards tomorrow morning. But beyond that, we're going to be looking at some very warm temperatures, almost May-like conditions over the next couple of days. Let's now have a look at those temperatures elsewhere on Delmarva at this time. Currently right here in Georgetown, it is 59 degrees, 62 in Salisbury, 57 for Pocomoke City, 61 right now in Easton, 59 for Centreville, 58 for Dover and Newark, and currently 57 degrees all the way up in Wilmington. We're seeing some fairly dry conditions out there for the most part. Dew points anywhere between about 35 and even 39 degrees, so nice dry air masses in place as of now, and that's also been keeping the winds down a little bit too. Current sustained winds generally from the south and east, anywhere between about 6 to about 10 miles an hour. Here in the inland locations, a little bit stronger the closer you get towards Exmoor and Cape Charles, currently sustained at about 12 miles per hour. But we are seeing some wind gusts, like right now in Georgetown at 11 miles per hour, 12 for Salisbury, 11 for Ocean City and Pocomoke City. Much stronger the further south you go in Cape Charles, gusting to 20 miles per hour. From the south at 10 miles per hour in Dover, and currently 12 miles per hour from the south in Wilmington. Now we are going to be looking at some very, very warm temperatures over the next couple of days and a little bit of some rain chances for tomorrow morning. But regardless, a fantastic week is ahead, and I have all the details regarding that, just of how nice it's going to be in just a little bit.
Well, we continue to hear from Delawareans who receive false toll violations from DelDOT, who continues to ignore our questions and refuses to provide any specifics as to what is causing the issue to begin with. At this time, we bring you two more interviews from people who are among the hundreds that we know of who received toll violations when they actually paid the toll with a working Easy Pass with active funds that was in their vehicles.
Why would it pick up on the 24th? And not pick up on the 25th. It's reading the transponder, but we got 13 pages of violations. Not cool.
How's this left you feeling?
Not too happy. I'm not going to say the word that I really feel, but not too happy.
Well, I first started noticing that I was getting toll violations, and you get one, you get two, you think, okay, something happened. You go through the process, you write the appeal, you send in the check for the payment, because you just want to do the right thing and want to get it done, right? Send it off and do it. And then I noticed that I'm getting 5, 6 at a time. And I started to notice that the dates were rather late. They were 4 or 5 months ago, but then some of them would be recent. And no denying that I went through that toll. That's my car and I'm probably driving it, right? But it didn't make sense to me because my account was in good standing. I could quickly go over to the account page. I could see the money there. And then I could go to the account reports and see that I had in fact paid the toll. Then one day last week, I got this many. There are all from DelDOT, and there's $8 worth of postage here from DelDOT. And I haven't opened them yet because I have a plan. And my plan is simply this. I need to go through every single one of these and appeal them because that's their process and that's what I will do. But I am going to send this, all the appeals, all of my account information, and I'm going to send it to the head of DelDOT because somebody needs to be aware that this is a problem. I did the right thing. I paid the tolls that came in. I called customer service. And the problem is that you're forced into a situation as the consumer of the toll. You can't prove the future. So what they're saying when they send you a toll violation is that on that date, you didn't pay the toll. So you now have to prove it. Okay, so you prove it, you paid the toll, but they can still continue to send you violations because there's no ability on DelDOT's part to look into my account. And if the Easy Pass accounts across the country aren't talking to each other, I can't change that and it's not my responsibility. The onus of responsibility that they've put on me is to respond to every single violation that they send. And they can send it because they say to me, customer service said to me the other day that they can't know that I will have money in my account in the future. But I can know that I will have money in the account in my future because it's an automatic upload of money every time my balance dips below $10. And I get a text message. So in 2022, DelDOT can't tell. They can't talk to other Easy Passes, but the Easy Pass is good up and down the East Coast. I mean, there's just a real sense of lack of logic here.
Now, our attempts to get answers on this issue have been ignored by DelDOT officials. However, over the weekend, we did receive the following response from an official with DelDOT through a woman who reached out to them after she received a false toll violation and then forwarded their response to our news email. They appear to acknowledge the issue, but blame it on a third-party company, TransCore, who they contract with to deal with toll operations. Quote, the department has been made aware that some customers with active Easy Pass accounts have inadvertently received violations. Our vendor, TransCore, is working to rectify the issue. They have been directed to suspend any new violations to active Easy Pass account holders until the programming issue is resolved. TV Delmarva News is continuing to investigate this developing story. We'll continue to bring you stories of Delawareans impacted by this issue until DelDOT resolves the problem. While a bill to provide Delawareans with a $300 rebate to combat rising inflation costs has passed the House. The bill passed by a 35 vote all in favor. House Majority Leader Danny Short praised the legislation in a recent interview, which he said will help Delawareans deal with rising costs, including the spike in prices at the gas pumps.
We were thinking 200, 250. And coincidentally, the other side of the aisle, one day we were in the hall of, Representative Valerie Longhurst, my colleague. She's the leader of the Democratic caucus. I'm the leader of the Republican caucus. She says, Danny, can we talk in the office a minute about your idea of the refund and the rebate? I said, sure, let's do it. So we got in there. Timmy Dukes, Representative Dukes, was our whip when their whip was there, Larry Mitchell, and obviously the Speaker of the House. And they said, we're thinking we like to get together on this, do it jointly for the taxpayers, and why don't we make it 250? And I said, and along with Tim, we said, we were really thinking 300. And they said, okay, if we're in agreement, let's go. So that's how it went. It was that very simple process.
Republican State Reps Rich Collins and Brian Shoup both voted against the legislation. Coming up, the annual Lieutenant Governor's Challenge in search of nominees who help make Delaware a healthier state. More details straight ahead. Keep it here. Well, we got a chance to sit down with the Lieutenant Governor, Bethany Hall Long, who has launched the annual Lieutenant Governor's Challenge in search of nominees who help make Delaware a healthier state.
The Lieutenant Governor's Challenge is really important, particularly as we come out of COVID and even prior, where you hit it spot on, whether it's a individual, a workplace, or a business that hasn't usually thought about healthcare, or it may be a faith-based setting, or an organization, an entity who would like to apply. And the Lieutenant Governor's Challenge 2.0 had originally started years back with Governor Carney with physical health, but we expanded it to include emotional well-being. And how important is that now, coming particularly out of COVID? You know, higher anxiety, depression, working our way back into the workforce, kids at home, you know, it's been very incredibly hectic. And so the Lieutenant Governor's Challenge is a nice way to really kind of recognize your work colleagues, maybe your boss, maybe you're the employer, the head of the corporation, and you'd like to feature healthy lifestyles.
You can nominate a candidate for this year's awards at lieutenantgovernorschallenge.org. Well, it looks like we're in store for increasing clouds and comfortable conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
The sunshine today will begin to fade to increasing clouds as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Now, some areas will be waking up to a few showers in the morning commute on Tuesday before the sun returns, and the temperatures will be on the increase by the afternoon. We will have some very warm temperatures throughout much of this week with more rain chances by the weekend. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back, I'll let you know how warm it will get here on TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into that pinpoint forecast for the rest of the overnight hours into the day on Tuesday. We are going to be looking at an increase in those clouds tonight with mostly cloudy skies, but at least the good news is we're looking at a fairly mild night in store too. Overnight lows 50 to 55 degrees, and we've got some light winds from the south between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Take a look at futurecast rest of the overnight hours into the day on Tuesday. This is 8 o'clock this evening. We're starting to see the cloud cover beginning to move in from the southwest. Temperatures sticking around the lower 50s for the most part, but we do have a little bit of some precipitation over towards areas of Allegheny and Garrett counties of Maryland. Going into the heart of the overnight hours, though, those clouds will be settling in. Temperatures are going to be remaining quite consistent in the lower 50s for the most part, a little bit cooler as you head over towards areas of Newark and Wilmington in the mid-40s. But waking up tomorrow morning, though, we are going to be watching for some areas of some scattered and isolated showers, especially for areas north of Dover with temperatures in the upper 40s up there. It's going to be relatively short-lived as these showers move through, because by the afternoon hours, the rain is gone. The clouds have moved out of the picture too. Winds are going to be switching towards the south, and that combination is going to bring some nice warm temperatures by the early afternoon hours. Widespread areas of temperatures in the lower 70s. Can't complain about that too much. And then by the evening hours tomorrow, we are still going to be looking at some fairly mild conditions in the mid and upper 60s with a little bit of some cloud cover over towards areas of southeastern Virginia and the southern tip of Delmarva. Tuesday forecast overall, though, we have to get past those morning showers in the vicinity. But by the afternoon hours, we're looking at a nice day across the region with some very, very mild temperatures. Your afternoon high, 70 to 75 degrees, although it is going to be a bit on the breezy side, though, but it's going to be a fairly warm wind at that from the southwest, between 10 and 15 miles per hour. And not only we have the wind, we have the warmer temperatures and a little bit of some fresh rainfall. Allergies index for tomorrow is going to be, well, quite bad. Yes, my favorite category of all to use. Please stop, because that's what a lot of people are going to be saying tomorrow, just dealing with the allergies. 10.7 out of 12. Typical tree pollen for this time of year as we are entering the maximum portions of the allergy season, with poplar, juniper, and maple being the typical allergens for tomorrow. Now we're going to switch gears and take a look at the Atlantic waters forecast, beginning with the Atlantic Ocean. Partly sunny skies, 67 degrees, winds from the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, with seas of around 1 to 3 feet. Take a look at the Delaware Bay. We got partly sunny skies, 71 degrees, winds from the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour, with seas of around 1 foot expected. And then at Chesapeake Bay, watch out for some areas of some isolated showers earlier on. Nice warm 72 degrees, winds from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour, with seas of around 1 foot expected. Now, going into tomorrow night, we are going to be looking at some partly cloudy skies, and once again, another fairly comfortable night in store too. 51 to 56 degrees, with winds starting to switch directions towards the southeast at about 5 miles per hour. Now, like I've been mentioning since last week, that we're going to be seeing some very warm temperatures going into this week, but is it going to stay? Well, according to the Climate Prediction Center, the forecast temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, well, pretty much everyone here in the lower 48 is going to be looking at cooler temperatures ahead, unfortunately, so we're not going to be having those 70s and potentially even 80s this week stick around, with the bulk of it being in the northern plains. Still over here towards areas of Delmarva, we're still slightly below average, but that will continue to move in the 8 to 14 day period. But now, take a look at that extended outlook. We are going to be looking at some fairly warm temperatures over the next couple of days, so if you're a fan of that, make sure to get out there and enjoy it. Wednesday, 77 and mostly cloudy skies. We're getting really close to that 80-degree mark by Thursday, but we will be introducing some rain chances. Friday and Saturday, we cool off just a little bit, partly sunny skies and 68 degrees, and then we fall back to near average for Sunday and Monday of next week, and we're going to be looking at some more rain chances as well.
Coming up, a man was stabbed to death at a motel near Wilmington. More details on the way. Don't go away. Well, Delaware State Police are investigating a homicide that occurred Sunday afternoon outside a Newcastle area motel. Around 2:42 p.m., troopers responded to the Super Lodge on West Avenue in Newcastle for reports of a stabbing. Responding troopers found the victim, a 45-year-old Newcastle man, outside the motel suffering from an apparent stab wound to his upper torso area. He was transported to an area hospital by EMS, where he died as a result of his injuries. The Delaware State Police Homicide Unit is currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the homicide. The investigation remains active and ongoing at this time. Anyone with any information is urged to contact police.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson, we will be learning about what is a frontal triple point. Now, the basics of a triple point, meaning the point in where three fronts all come together in one single point. Now, the three basic frontal types that you would see drawn on a surface maps are a warm front, a cold front, and an occluded front. The warm front is generally found to the right of a low pressure center. It is where the warm sector is wrapping around the low pressure system. The cold front is typically found on the left side, wrapping colder air around the backside of a low pressure system. Since the cold front typically moves much faster than a warm front, where the cold front lifts the warm front, it will result in something known as an occluded front. The triple point is where that occluded front is located, where the cold front and warm front all intersect together. This intersection point will have a great amount of lifting involved with it as well. And if enough moisture is wrapping in from the warm sector, then really big heavy rainfalls and even severe thunderstorms can fire along a triple point and along the fronts that wrap into the low pressure center. There is a great amount of wind shear also near the triple point and near the fronts, which severe weather will often fire up ahead of the front and along the warm front as well, near that triple point where the shear is greatly enhanced. And also in the spring months, you'll be able to have a triple point associated with a dry line instead, which makes for a very dangerous situation when we were talking about severe weather.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News.